Philadelphia. It was a studio that I was working out of Broad Street in North Philly, and it was a beautiful studio. We had lobby and big room to work out of, and big leather chairs and real comfortable. And I was like, man, I gotta name this room. It's like my room that I spent so many hours in. I had about 13 hip hop artists that I was producing at one time, and I spent all my hours in, like, any waking hour I'm in there. And I needed a name for it because it's like when you're a producer. I don't know if any of the producers that are watching this have ever worked on a production line, but I worked at a steel mill. I've worked at a warehouse that sold where fireworks are packaged. If you work at a warehouse, you'll see a real production line, and you moving quick. Things are getting pushed out like a bakery. If you ever go to Krispy Kreme donuts and you're in line, and they're making them donuts, they get them donuts out. Like you gotta move. You can't sit still. You can't be. They're getting things out there. They put them in your hand, and it's in the bag, and next onto the next person, onto the next. And I named it the Beatery because it's like a beef bakery. We chef them up like a sandwich, wrap it up, and you get it out to the next, onto the next person. Who needs to be? What kind? How fast? You got to constantly move. Nowadays with the email, people want an email from you. They expect it pronto, like yesterday's mail. They want it yesterday. They want it right away. So like I named it the Beatery because generally I can make up to 100 beats in a month. And excuse me, in 3 months I can make up to 100 beats. And that takes a lot of dedication, and it takes a lot of time to get that out in such little time. But that's how a bakery works. They generate their numbers. They say, all right, we got to bake X amount of cake, so we got to do whatever we got to do to get these out. And ultimately, if we make more, we sell more. And so I named it the Beatery because of the amount of music being processed in that location.
That's what's up. I love that. The Beatery and all that. Who would ever thought you can, come up with something like that, and it's like, that's hot, It's like, you gotta be original, and you gotta come correct with it, especially when you name your spot and everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next years, future, what's coming to the Rudament and the Rudament Music Company?
Well, I thought I was onto something. I thought that I had a lot of my own resources in the industry, and I reached out to them, and I thought that the resources I had would have helped me tremendously by now. I've been an option on a lot of things. There from, for example, Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris Jackson, wanted to start singing. I have been in circles where people consider me as an option for the voice coach for the job, and they end up sending the dark child for it instead. These things have happened. I've been an option to do music for big companies and runway music for shows, and things fall through. I've been an option to do work for big name artists, and things fall through throughout the years, and I've worked very hard to get a certain place, and I just haven't gotten there. So I think that my focus needs to be adjusted now, and so I'm not really focused on the big names anymore like I once was. I mean, I still will be submitting records to big name artists. Don't get me wrong. You have the addresses, why not use them, right? But right now, my main goal is to find somebody that's just like me. So find someone that's like in the street, that's from the ground up, that's a hard-working artist that has their 9 to 5 that they're tired of. They just want to do it for themselves. They just want to sing with their voice. They just want to rap with their voice and get them to where they've always dreamed of. And they need my help, and I need their help, and we come together and I give them that transformation that I spoke of earlier, and they get that finished product, and sounds beautiful. And help them blossom their career. That's what I'm looking to do right now is find someone to really help them garnish, mold them into, someone great. Or someone greater than they were before they came.
Right. Now, who are some of the producers and everything that look up to you and everything instead of you looking up to them and all that?
That's a good question. There's a producer that I just met out here. He's from, I think he's from Dorchester. His name is Wilgie. Gonna be doing a video with him probably sometime this week, right here. Just, busting it up with him. I might interview him and ask him questions on what his plans are, and I try to encourage people in whatever city I'm in to be the best person they can be, and to enlighten people around them and in their city musically, if possible. There's another kid out here. I think his name is Stroby. He's a lot of people know him. I don't think I've heard any of his music. I think I might have heard some of his music a couple of years ago. But this is why it's important that people will remember you. People will always remember you, especially if you have a unique name that rings a bell. And when you get somebody's phone number, you use it. You don't overuse it, but shoot them a text message every now and again and say, hey, Merry Christmas, or Happy New Year. You want to interact with people. Interaction is the key. And I think that there's a lot of producers that might look up to me. I know that I get a lot of calls or a lot of emails from artists that say that they sit up and they write countless hours to the music that's on MySpace, or they come home from work every day and watch the YouTube videos. I'm very humbled by that, and I thank everybody that's doing that. It's very humbling to hear and to know that I'm having an impact on somebody. It was very depressing. It's very depressing being in here and not knowing that your stuff's being watched or listened to, but to hear that it is very relieving, and makes me want to keep doing it.
Right. That's what's up around here. That was good, man. This is Mike Melendez and everything. You watch the Backwards Specials ITV. My guest over here, my man Rudament on